Good morning.
Hello.
This is a different time from our usual film time, but we're gonna do it. Morning
It's
podcast vibes,
9:30 a.m. on a Saturday,
which is insane. And we
And-
both had things to drink last night.
and we might have morning voice.
But I sound sexy, so that's okay.
Well, one of us sounds sexy.
Did you drink a lot last night?
No, I had like half a glass of wine. It was
Half a
pretty good.
glass?
Yeah, I
Were you like,
shared.
mad red when you were leaving?
Wait, really?
Yeah, I was like, how
That
much did
red?
she drink?
Oh my god.
Maybe
No,
you're
I
just
kind of
bullshitting.
felt
I
it.
don't know. You
I
were
was
go ahead.
Oh, it was really hot too.
Oh.
I was wearing heat tech. All the girlies on my end were like, we're so hot.
Really?
Yeah. It felt so good to go outside. But also, I don't know. I think so. I had a sparkling rosé. It was good, but for some reason, it didn't feel like my usual wine tipsy. It was like my brain just felt like a nice hug tipsy. It was being
Nice
hugged.
hug.
Yeah.
Wait, you think it was maybe like because rosé has like more sugar, right?
Oh, maybe.
Like the sugar and the wine combined together.
Yeah.
A nice hug.
How much did you drink?
Dude, okay, this is gonna sound kind of crazy. I don't know. Actually, no, it's not that crazy. I was like, I don't know what being tipsy feels like anymore because whenever I drink, it goes like 1 to 100.
Oh my gosh, really?
Or like,
Were you blasted
okay, no,
last
no,
night?
no, I wasn't blasted, but it was like, okay, like you know, like tipsy is like maybe like you're at 50%.
Sure, like 30 to 50%.
Yeah. Like you have a little bit, and you're like, oh, I'm a little like happier about
Yeah.
this. I feel like I always go past tipsy because I just keep drinking, and I'm always at like a 70.
Oh my gosh. You
70,
just zoom
75-ish.
past it.
Exactly. So I was like there-ish all night, and we talked with my friends. I almost said their names. I don't want to dox them, but yeah, it was really good. I thought we were gonna mingle our groups together,
Oh.
but yeah,
It was funny because at the end we just switched places.
I know. Oh my god. Sorry. We're going to go to our podcast topic in one sec. Okay. We were drinking like in our circle.
Uh-huh.
And then, so I'm facing the bar.
Uh-huh.
And like our group is like me, Josh, and then like all the girls together.
Uh-huh.
And then so we're like standing in the circle. And then like there's this man like in the back kind of like staring at us.
Uh-huh.
And I'm like, why does he keep staring? Because he's literally like this.
Oh, he's like sitting down like a guest?
Like, no, he's standing like by the bar, but like,
Oh.
like watching us.
Yeah.
And I'm like, okay, this is like, I like kind of a little sus. And then I see him like pull like a big chug, like glug, glug, glug. And he walks over to us. And then basically like just butts his way in between like Ashley and Rebecca.
Oh my gosh.
And then he goes like, hey. But then, dude, the rest of us were just like,
Wait,
like,
is
who
this
the
after we
fuck is
left?
this guy? No, before you guys left.
Wait, really? I
Yeah.
did not see this at all.
Because literally, we were all just like chilling, just like, oh yeah, like talking about the cabin trip and whatnot.
Yeah.
And he butts right in. He goes like, hey.
Oh my god.
And then we're
that's
just like,
so funny.
cheers, and we like clink, and then we drink. And then the thing is, he doesn't leave.
No.
He just sits there. He's like, so, and he's German, so he has a heavy German accent. I don't want to do the accent, but he was just like, oh, yeah. It was
like,
like
you couldn't understand
he was
him?
no, we couldn't understand it, but he was like, oh, like, are you guys from here?
Oh.
Are you guys tourists? Are you guys immigrants? And then we're all just like, he's like, yeah, immigrants.
Oh my gosh.
And then drink to immigrants. And he fucking drinks it. And then he starts going around asking us what we ought to do. So he looks at me. He goes like, so what do you do? And I'm like, I work in a hospital. He's like, oh, you're not a doctor, are you? And I'm like, no, I'm not a doctor. He's like, what do you do then? Medical investigation. And I just started like bullshitting. I'm like, yeah, I'm a medical investigator. Whatever the fuck that is. And then, okay, long story short, he just like goes around like asking everyone like where they're from, like what they do, and we're not giving him any feedback.
Mm-hmm.
And this goes on for like 10, 15 minutes. And he just doesn't leave.
What?
I know. And then, okay, eventually like he leaves, and then he like, I think he waves at us, and it's just like, just ruins the whole vibe of the table.
Oh my gosh.
I know.
How did I not see this?
Dude, it was kind of insane.
I was
you
literally
know?
facing you guys. What the heck?
I mean, he was standing on like the far side, like where Rebecca was
Oh.
standing. But yeah, overall,
That's so funny.
dude,
What
all
would you-
it takes is just like one. Not that it ruined the whole night, but it's just like I can see how like if you guys were like a group of girls and guys were just randomly coming up to just like talk to you guys, it'd be so
disruptive,
annoying.
yeah.
God, that got me so. I was fuming when because I was a little drunk too, but I was fuming. I was like, this man pulls up and just oh my god, it was so. And he was talking to Rebecca and making Rebecca so uncomfortable.
Aw.
This is from my opinion, obviously.
Yeah.
Because like Rebecca was just like, you know, like when Rebecca just like
Yeah.
doesn't want to hang out with you. She just like looks away, and then
Yeah.
you're just forcing the conversation. And I'm
Dude.
like, dude, read the fucking room.
Oh my gosh, I can imagine how uncomfortable and like low key the silence between each answer.
No, literally, it's just like when you approach someone, but you're gonna do it in a distasteful manner. It's just like, bro, it's so.
Dude,
That was big sad.
I'm glad you fucked with him.
But then the rest of the night was fine. Yeah,
Recovery speed.
good times.
Good.
So
That's crazy.
our topic today, in the theme of mid-20s, I think we're going to talk about like who are we without our job title, especially where jobs are so like a prevalent part of who we are. I actually found that like, dude, 70% apparently of like people in our mid-20s associate our self-worth with like jobs. 70% is pretty big.
From like our generation?
Yeah, like or like currently right now, like in this
Currently?
like a survey was
Whoa.
done like 70%. And then also I think I want to talk about this because in CG we were talking about like what we were passionate about.
Mhm.
I don't know if you got that as an icebreaker question too.
Yeah.
And then like all of us couldn't think of anything because she was like,
Yeah.
you can't talk about your job, and we're just like, well, what if you're not passionate about your job, but your value is like your job?
Yeah.
So like, who are you outside of that?
All of that, yeah. The other question that I feel like was really hard for us was what's something, I mean, it was the same question, but like the other
Right.
phrasing of it was like, what's something that you could talk a lot about? And then we were like, I mean, yeah, I have hobbies and interests, but I don't know if I could really talk a lot about
Mm-hmm.
one specific hobby or
Or
interest, you know?
is that normal to be able to talk?
Yeah, I don't know. Or like just be knowledgeable about something. But I can totally think of some people at least where I can be like, oh, they are like a health girly. Like they know their stuff or like they really look into
Mm.
ingredients and how that affects you and like what ingredients to avoid. And like I can pinpoint a person right now in my head to go to for that. Or for
Mm.
example, like my sister can talk a lot about like science and biology.
But isn't that part of her work?
Oh, that is her
though?
work. Yeah.
Right?
Okay. Yeah. You're right.
Like I'm like, is my passion for health an extension of me being a physical therapist? You know?
Yeah. I think that is really hard when you have to answer the question without
Yeah.
work.
Yeah. Let's try
Yeah.
to answer the question of like, how would you describe what you do without talking about your work? Like, who are you outside of your work?
Like our life purpose.
You can take the question however way you want.
Okay, who am I outside of work? There's actually this journal that shout out Reb got me, and it's basically a prompted journal. And the first question is like, "Who am I?" And it's like literally everything. Like put everything on
Mm-hmm.
the sheet. So, okay, if I'm just going to take a stab, I am creative. I like making content.
Mm-hmm.
I like sharing my life with my friends, like
Mm-hmm.
through spending time with them. Oh my god, this is so hard.
No. I think it's supposed to be awkward. Okay, we're really complex human beings. We're like obviously like distinct from each other, but we
Mhm.
don't have the words to like accurately describe that.
Yeah.
You know, like it always goes back to like work. Like when you meet someone, it's like, oh hi, I'm
What do you
Sarah. Like,
do?
what do you do?
Yeah. Well, actually, when I met someone one time, the way that he asked that was, "What do you do in this world?" I literally asked him like 5 times to repeat himself because I have never heard a phrase like that and my brain
Mhm.
couldn't register.
Wait, did you say your job still?
I think that just gave me an opportunity to, yeah, like say my job, but then also express my like content creation hobby
Mm.
rather than just stopping at job. Or like
Mhm.
it just really makes it more open of a question. Okay, but
Mm.
anyways, let me try to go back bigger picture. I think like right now my overall like who I am is like a good friend, people person. Yeah, I think a lot of what I do in my life stems from that.
Mm-hmm.
To keep the answer simple.
I mean, that's okay. That's okay.
What would you say?
I don't know. How would I describe myself? I just feel like I'm in so many different eras of my life right now. I
Mhm.
just know like one word to describe that. Like I was talking to one of our older friends. I was like, "Oh, do you think I'm like a oldest sibling energy or youngest sibling energy?" And they're like, "Youngest sibling." And I'm like, "Damn." But I've noticed like just like around different people, you're like a different person.
Yeah,
you know?
totally.
I think like at its core is just like I want to be able to work hard. Work. I want to be able to do things that allow me to provide myself with the life I want
Yeah.
and leave it at that. And the life I want is to like take care of friends, you know,
Mhm.
take care of Rebecca, create things, and that is. See, I don't like how our life identity still stems from like a productivity standpoint.
But productivity is just doing things, right? And like you're gonna be doing things in life, so that's why it's productive.
Fine, productivity in the sense of pleasing others.
Isn't that like so normal as humans? Just like community,
But-
sense of connection and relationship.
But then would you equate like doing something for someone else as connection?
Yeah,
Oh.
acts of service, like love languages.
Well, mine's physical touch, so.
Actually, something that I've been thinking about recently is selflessness versus selfishness in that CG. Wow, this past CG was really put us in a think, huh?
Wait, maybe you guys talked about completely different things because we did not talk about
Oh, I think it was just like later, like
Yeah,
what
go for it,
drives
go for
you, because someone
money.
said-
I'm poor.
It was for the question, what can you talk a lot about? And I think I said like self-growth topics, like introspection, reflectiveness, like those kinds of things.
Mhm.
I think everyone in the group was like, yeah, like everyone kind of related to that. Like
Slay.
they could talk about that. But then one of the people actually pointed out it's easy to talk about because it's you, right? And it's like, you know yourself best.
Right.
And like in a way, it's like we're all just like selfish human beings.
Mhm.
And like we're selfish because we just think about ourselves all the time. And that's why we're so introspective. And that's why we can talk about it so much. And that put me into a thing because I was like, yeah, just like fundamentally human beings are so selfish. I'm still trying to grapple with like, okay, that's not necessarily a bad thing. I think at first my initial reaction is like, oh, that's a bad thing. So I don't know. Right now I'm trying to still process what can make it a bad thing. What is like just like normal and like just neutral.
Mhm.
In a way, I'm like, how can I be more selfless? Because honestly, I do feel like I've been more selfish lately. I used to be a big people pleaser, and I feel like I was more selfless to a degree where I feel like I wasn't having good boundaries for myself. Like I would always put other people before me, regardless of what I wanted. So then, like after a while, I realized that that wasn't feeling good for myself. So then I kind of like tried to put myself first too. But then I think over the years, I kind of swung a little bit too hard. And now I'm on the side where, I mean, not even really. Like I feel like I can still think of people, obviously, in like different aspects of life. Maybe I'm more selfish.
Mhm.
But I do kind of feel like I'm resurfacing to a point where I've moved the pendulum a little bit too far. And I want to recalibrate to be a little more selfless or like mindful. Selfless.
Do you think the intention of what you do matters though if the project is still the same?
Yeah, intention.
Really?
Yeah, I think intention is most of it.
But is it more like a personal? Because like, okay, I think the fine line between selflessness and selfishness is very, very small. Because at the end of the day, if you, for example, still get like a meal with someone or like buy them a gift and whatnot, and it's for a selfish reason, like you, again, my initial reaction is like selfishness indicates that you're doing this for some sort of like self gratification.
Yeah.
Versus selflessness, you're doing it for someone else's like pleasure, right?
Yeah.
But I wouldn't say as a people pleaser, you necessarily find joy in, like, it's not like a bad thing to be happy to like help someone. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I feel like there are cases where I feel like I know that I could have maybe done something for someone, but I didn't because I was being selfish.
Is that something you
And it's
share?
not necessarily something that like needed to be done for. It would just like
Right.
be nice.
Right.
I think it'd be fine if I didn't do it and I didn't have this internal feeling.
Mm-hmm.
Like it's fine, like then I wouldn't think about it. But I think
Mhm.
it's because I have this draw to be like, I should go help with this or do this nice thing, and then I don't listen to that, and instead I choose not to because of whatever selfish reason. Like that's where I feel bad.
I'm curious what you think about this. I think that it should be balanced. It shouldn't be 100% selflessness, 100% selfishness. Because I think 100% selflessness is great and amazing and ideally like what everyone wants. And I also think that's very in line with like the Christian values of like self-sacrifice, yada, yada, yada. But I feel like in my old age
25
and my
almost
wisdom-
26.
Oh, don't. I think one of the biggest things is if you're always 100% selfless, you end up becoming like people can step on you.
Yeah.
Like you don't have that boundary for yourself, and humans aren't made to operate at that level for every single thing they do.
Yeah.
I think selfishness is a good way to like gauge like, do I need some me time right now? Or is it completely valid? I think like as much as you're trying to please someone else, how do you please yourself? You know, ew. How do you please yourself? So I feel like the correct answer is to have like a little bit of both, you know?
Yeah.
Like it's okay if they don't deserve your selflessness in this moment, you know?
Yeah. I think it's hard to know that boundary for
Mhm.
myself, but
Mhm.
it's a work in progress.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, you don't, but like you don't feel the pressure to pick like one or other, right?
No, yeah. I know it's a balance. It's a dance. It depends on the situation too. But I think I just like overall, I just want my identity, my character just to be like generous, patient, selfless,
you sound like
stuff like that.
Fruits of the Spirit type shit.
Yeah.
Have you ever heard of the Fruits of the Spirit song?
the song?
Yeah.
No.
It's
You gonna sing
like-
it?
I mean, no, I remember the beginning. It's like, the fruits of the Spirit are love, joy, peace, patience, kindness, goodness, faithfulness. It's just like shit we listened to in church school. Gentleness and self-control.
Adrian's
Anyways,
version.
That was the PG version.
There's a PG version?
No, I'm
And
kidding, I'm kidding. Other ones like laziness,
Oh, all the,
being
like,
mean.
vices. That's funny.
Yeah, that's nice though.
Yeah.
That's hard. So going back to like kind of career and identity, now that you're like kind of like entering like job hunting phase, almost
Mhm.
there, almost there.
Yeah.
Do you also put pressure on yourself to find a job you love?
Yeah. I'm pigeonholing myself so bad. Like, so I recently moved to a different team. in
Oh,
my
really?
company. Yeah.
Is that good or bad?
It's good. It's good.
Oh.
Because my program is 4 different teams, and I really like it. I like my last team too. I think this is just like a different perspective within this area.
Are you still doing the same stuff or?
Same products, but like slightly different perspective in the marketing process.
What do you mean by
So I'm doing like
perspective?
digital marketing now.
Oh, that sounds
Yeah. Whereas
right up
before I
your
was doing,
alley.
yeah. Before I was doing, it was like global marketing. So that's more like Congress planning, looking at strategy. I don't know if I was that close to strategy, but I would be able to see some of it more.
Right.
But now I'm on like the digital marketing side, and yeah, it's been fun.
Wait. Are you doing like TikToks?
No. I'm at a pharma company. They don't.
I'm a
not
savage.
doing-
Here's my product. Or I imagine it's like some guy like throwing it back and then just like,
It's like the
flashes to the image. Come by.
Oh my gosh, that's so. Wait, you know what's so interesting? I do see like drug ads on Instagram, like when you're scrolling through,
Yeah.
and I'm like, what the heck? This is so weird. And then also on Snapchat, I re-downloaded Snapchat
Why?
to talk to Tim.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's nice.
You know how like when you take a pic and you like do the stickers and stuff?
Mhm.
There's literally like drug ads at some of the pages, like sponsored.
Oh.
So
Tylenol.
weird.
My head hurts. Tylenol.
Tylenol.
What the heck? Wait, so is that kind of what
Yeah.
you're doing? No.
No. I'm
Okay, nothing
doing.
like that.
We do like LinkedIn,
Oh,
email.
I see.
Because our people are more like doctors, so we need to reach them
I
more
see, I
directly
see, I
through
see.
email and stuff.
Oh.
And like website. Yeah, so that's been good, but I feel like I am pigeonholing myself because there's like this one particular role at this company that I'm like really looking into.
Yep.
And I know I need to like broaden my horizon
Yep.
with the job search, which I will. And I am genuinely interested in like other things too. But this one role just for some reason is just so interesting and like fits a lot of criteria. And in my head, I've kind of like built it up to be
Dude, I'm
this
kind of
dream.
scared for you.
I know. So yeah, yeah, I think that's the thing where like I don't think I've gotten to the point where I'm considering like imagining being in a job that it's like okay and then like doing that for a couple years while I like try to live my life. I think like right now I'm still very much in like the daydream,
Bro, you can't.
like imagining what my life would be like with that particular job.
Dude.
I know.
See,
I think
that's
yeah.
the trap. It's like you build your identity around your job. Like, cause remember when I was interviewing
Mhm.
and I had that one job that was like kind of like high paying, and I was like, oh my god, I think I killed that interview.
Yeah.
And
Wait,
like,
that was like not the healthcare job, right?
no, it was. They were paying like a decent amount.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh my god, they have like so many sick days. Like I'm gonna be able to come to Asia and whatnot, and then I'm gonna be able to support this lifestyle and whatnot. And then when I didn't get it, I was like, oh, is there something wrong with me?
Oh, yeah.
No, but I'm just like I can see like you're kind of approaching that.
Oh my gosh.
And I'm scared for you.
I know.
Because like, okay, be honest. Would you move back to Indiana and
Dude.
take that position, or stay in New York and do something you don't? Not don't like. Just
Okay, say it's like a job that I like, but I have to move back to Indiana, or a job that I'm like okay, or like maybe slightly don't like, but I get to
Mhm.
live here. That is literally so hard. I was talking to my parents, and they're like, "What's your like backup plan. And I'm like, well, I guess if like can't find anything, I guess I'll move back to Indiana while job searching. But then I was like,
And
I
then move
really don't want
back?
to. Well,
That'd
then
be
I guess I could go to
crazy.
like any other city too if
All right,
needed.
bye.
No,
End of your New York
no,
era.
I'm gonna get a job in New York or a remote job.
You could just work at a cafe
I could do that.
for a little bit.
Yeah, that'd be epic.
And you never do marketing ever again.
I could do marketing for the
You're just
cafe.
like barista god.
That would low key be so fun.
Yeah, I think you'd enjoy that actually.
I would. When I was at Cha Time
Uh-huh.
in high school, that was so fun.
Go work
and,
for
like-
one of your favorite matcha places.
Kiji Tora.
Hire her.
Bruh.
Tyler, no.
Bruh. But I think what's interesting is, like, for example, I have a friend that in her job, she always said, like, she, maybe if she didn't really fully resonate with the job and what she was doing, she at least wanted to, like, at the end of the day, build a business, and, like, she was able to still be interested and immersed in her job because she
Mhm.
wanted to learn those skills and, like,
Mhm.
learn how she could build her own business in the future.
Mhm.
So, like, extracting that out of
Mhm.
her job, even if maybe it wasn't as stimulating.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah.
So you should
I
take a job and stay in New York.
We're putting that out there.
Dude, if you fucking leave, it's gonna be a whole.
Oh
Like,
my
do we
gosh.
replace you? Do we just move?
I feel like I'm easily replaceable. My room is so
You're looking for. No, but
so
I don't
easy.
think anyone would just live in that room. You
Oh,
know?
really?
Because you decorated it well. That's why it's like livable now. But like,
Oh.
if you asked me to move in there, I wouldn't move in there.
Well-
Fucking closet outside. Gotta share a bathroom with Adrian.
Hell no.
Okay. Do you think your identity changes when you're in a different like city? So here's my
Ooh.
opinion on why I would never take a job and not be in New York. Because I feel like my entire life would literally change.
Yeah.
And my identity right now is like this life that I have.
Yeah.
Because like that's why I'm like, bro, you can't just leave because you would just not be able to go
I
to
wouldn't know
pop-ups
who I
anymore.
am.
You wouldn't be able
Not
to
the pop-ups.
film the podcast anymore. You wouldn't like so many sectors of your life would just disappear.
Dude, it's actually so true.
And you go home and you're just like you're living with your family, cool, but you're just like
Okay,
a
what
shell
if
of yourself.
I'm like in Chicago? Like, I mean, part of the thing is like friends.
you're gonna replace me.
Is that what you're really scared of?
I think like the whole point of this topic is just to get down to the point that like job aside, there's so much more to life.
Yeah.
You know, like you can't just disappear from New York and
Yeah.
expect things to be the same.
I mean, New York is a huge draw. Wait, that's so interesting. Do you think a part of our personality is that we're a part of
Yeah.
our identity? Yeah, is
We're-
that we're,
we're New
20s in New
Yorkers.
York?
My brother, like, he lives in Seattle, right?
Mhm.
Completely different vibe. I feel like he's gonna get retired soon.
Oh my gosh, that's crazy. Yeah, I feel like last week going back to Indy was so.
Oh my god, that was.
The
Can you imagine that
suburbs-
for the rest of your life?
Listen,
It's
if
10 degrees over there right now.
Oh
You would
my gosh,
die.
dude, it was so cold. Okay, maybe not like now, but like yeah, once I have a family and
Yeah,
I have
yeah.
friends and we're all like in that life stage.
When you have friends.
When I have friends in
no,
that
no,
life
I agree.
stage.
It's a life stage thing.
Yeah. I will say like it was nice going back for like a couple days.
Yeah.
And then I started like not knowing what to do with myself.
Yeah.
Like I wouldn't want to say that like, oh, if I moved somewhere to like whether it's a suburb or like Chicago,
Yeah.
yes, things would change, but at the end of the day I want to say like I'm strong enough and I need to have the willpower to like build a life for myself and make the most of things, you know what I mean?
Mhm.
Like yes, New York has like so many opportunities in so many regards, but I want to say that I would like build my life out in
Right.
those rather than like relying on the city to do it for me kind of. But I'm so used to the city just being here and just
Well,
being a part of it.
I think part of it is there's an absence of like responsibility because like when
Mm.
you have kids, that becomes your like goal and how to provide for
That's
them.
so true. Yeah.
Versus right now we have no responsibilities.
That's
aside
so
from paying
true.
rent.
Yes, and it's just like me, myself, and I.
Like what do we fill that up with? The city
So
No.
true. Yeah.
and pop-ups.
Loki can't wait to have kids.
What? This is crazy.
I feel like every other episode I'm like, I don't want to have kids. I want to
Bro,
have kids.
and then okay, imagine you're a parent. Then your identity becomes your kid. Like your whole life revolves around
Your
this
identity
kid.
becomes your
and then you
mom.
gotta juggle a
dad.
job and a kid, and it's just like
Yeah.
I don't know, dude. Fuck that. I mean, I love kids.
There
That's
is a universe where if the dad is the breadwinner, I would be such a good stay-at-home mom.
Wait, you said if there is a universe, like you're not down right now?
No, that like I'd be down, but like I don't want to bank on that.
Oh, I see.
Like I would be down for that. I would also be down to work.
I would say just
Uh,
find a rich man, tell them to buy a brownstone in Brooklyn and just live your life
Oh
out
my
there.
gosh.
That is still my dream.
Really? It's like staying here?
Dude, Brooklyn is really not that bad.
Hmm.
Like, you find the right sector part, buy a nice brownstone, which is also like 1.5 million.
Oh my gosh.
And then just like, you can have a car. Just,
That's crazy. I don't
Enjoy
think
New
I've
York
actually
as
entertained
is.
the idea of staying here long term.
really?
Yeah.
Entertain is one thing. Is it realistic? Probably not. But we'll
Okay.
see where life takes us.
This is kind of random, but related to the topic. So, you know how like your closest 5 friends, you have like qualities of them and you kind of become more like them.
Yeah.
Like you said earlier, different people, different vibes, different groups bring out different things in you. It's not that you're being different, it's just that like that's all in you. It's just those are being emphasized more.
Right.
So like, do you ever have an identity crisis of like you're with one group and then you're with another group and then like you're like, who am I or who do I want to be? Or it's also like if I am all these things, like as I do that too, I also learn sometimes I'm like, oh, like I don't really want to bring that part out of myself, or like, oh, I really like this part of myself. How do I like activate that more or like grow in that more? How do you curate who you are in a way, or like make sure that you like who you're becoming?
Dude, I low-key think you don't have control over that.
Really?
I believe in identity fatigue.
What is
so
that?
like, that's a term I just made up. The Adrian phenomenon.
Wow.
Identity fatigue in my head is when you have to be the same person around different groups of people, but like it's not possible because the dynamics of that group doesn't allow you to, or you play one role so much in this one group of people, you don't want to play that role in another group. So
Okay.
as a result, you kind of have to like change a little bit. So that's why I was confused, but not. I was like interested in what people say when I'm like, oh, like what energy are you? Like oldest sibling, youngest sibling,
Yeah.
middle sibling. And then when they say youngest sibling, that just means I'm so sick of being like an older sibling, you know? Because it's
Yeah.
like, here's like how I see like my friend groups right now. I think with Purdue people, I think I play very much the role of sometimes like organizer, sometimes like let's go like plan certain things. And this is more apparent in college, I think. But like with my Columbia friends who are older than me, I don't want to do that anymore. Like plan for them too, or like organize things for them too. Like I just like to follow. So like with them, I'm very much like youngest sibling energy, just like hee, just like being like absolutely chaotic and whatnot.
Yeah.
Versus like with our friend group, it's a little more like serious. Not even serious. It's just like a different role, you know.
Yeah.
Not to say I don't have fun with you guys. It's just like a little different.
It's
from
not
like
as
being with
degen.
them. It's not. No. It's still pretty degen, but it's just like I need to be a little more present. You know. But yeah, I think it's like identity fatigue. When you have multiple friend groups, you don't want to play the same role for multiple friend groups.
Yeah.
Like always a planner, always a planner. That's something my friend talks about. She's always a planner of her friend group, like going to trips and whatnot. And she just like, literally one time she was like with her friends, she's like, I'm not gonna plan this trip. If we're gonna make this happen, you guys do it.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's what identity fatigue is to me.
Yeah. I can see that. I think now that I'm reflecting on this, so throughout your life, you've had opportunities to be fully immersed in like different friend groups.
Right. T.
Like I grew up with the same group of people for 10 plus years.
Wait,
no,
that is
at this point,
so
15.
interesting.
How old am I? 25? Like 20 years.
Yeah.
I had the same friend group, which is so crazy, awesome. That's like so rare. But at the same time, what comes with that is like, I mean, obviously I've made friends outside of that, but I always have my strongest sense of identity in my 2-decade-long friend group.
This is crazy.
Insane. So I think how that maybe manifests for me now is that I feel really, really uncomfortable when I
Yeah.
deviate outside of the identity that I'm so used to. Like I'm so used to, I don't know, just being really involved, I guess.
Yeah.
And like really having like one-on-ones with everyone, maintaining great relationships
Right,
with
right,
everyone
right.
individually, and feeling that sense of community for myself. And so then when I'm in a new friend group, it's just like new. It's like the process of meeting new people takes more time, and like I don't feel that level compared to my 2-decade-long
No, I get
friend
that, I
group,
get
which is
that.
like totally normal. But then it also just makes me really uncomfortable because I'm like, who am I? Like I'm not the same role as I was, which is like fine and good,
Yeah.
but like I don't know what that means for myself.
No, I resonate with that so much because like especially when meeting new people, like obviously I think like off the bat you can be like, oh, like I like their vibes, I want to be friends with them, but also to some degree you also have to be like, oh, how can I coexist with them now?
Yeah.
You know, because like I think like in your like 2-decade friendship, even though you guys are changing, you guys are still like finding ways to meet each other. Like, but then I think like in like a new friend group or meeting someone, your identity has to shift based on what other people bring to the table too.
Yeah.
Like your friend group can't be everyone is heavily opinionated and like loud and obnoxious, which is like typically my like the set fault.
Deceptful.
Default default setting. What I say? The set fault. Default setting. That's my default setting. And as a result,
do you say default or default?
It's default. Default.
Guys.
Oh, fuck me. I'm a fob. I can't.
Sorry, keep going.
English is hard. Hey, here's
Clothes.
a riddle for you. Why can you drink a drink, but you can't food a food?
That's crazy.
I found that on Hopelessness Core in Indiana.
Wait, what? Hopelessness core?
Yeah, it's on TikTok. Wait, do you know what like core is? Like core.
Hopeless. Yeah, hopelessness core.
Yeah. It was just like degenerate stuff. Like one of them was sorry.
When you were in
so,
Indiana.
We're so sidetracked. One of them was like, okay, so you know like hope core is like they'll be like, oh, yesterday I blah 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 blah, and then it goes like silent, and then it's just playing like the motivational music. Dun, dun,
I'm
dun,
not
dun.
on hope core.
Oh my god.
Or hopelessness
Basically,
core.
it's supposed to like inspire you.
Okay.
But then like hopelessness core is like some guy giving like shitty advice, but the same music is playing. But that
so
like cognitive
funny.
dissonance is just like you're like, what the fuck?
That's
Like
so
one of them
funny.
was like, oh yeah, but it's the food one was one of them. But the other one was like, I broke up with my girlfriend last night, and then it goes like quiet, and then enters motivational space, motivational thing. It goes like, I saw a message. It said low battery, and I asked her who is low battery. And like that's really it.
Oh my god.
And it's just like the motivational music gets you. Anyways, that's
Oh
stupid.
my okay.
Fuck, where were we?
Default setting.
Default setting is like being loud and obnoxious.
Mm.
So then like you have to find a way to gel with other people and maybe not be
Mm.
loud and obnoxious, you know.
Mm-hmm.
And you're right, that does fuck with my identity sometimes.
Yeah.
I'm like, who am I? Am I quiet? I'm some timid soul. It was actually so interesting, bro. My grad school experience was so different from Purdue.
Why?
Like, I feel like Purdue, I was involved in more like leadership positions and
Mhm.
whatnot. Grad school, I didn't want to do any of that at all. There's student government. There was like showing up like extra time for like these whatever labs and whatnot, like bonding with
Mhm.
professors. I just didn't want to do any of that.
Did it change how close you felt?
I think it changed how people perceived me. Like if
Mhm.
at Purdue, it's more like
Leader.
yeah, like leader, like yada yada yada. But then
Yeah.
at Columbia, it's very much just like he doesn't go to class. He doesn't like bond with anybody. Not that I had friends, but like
Yeah.
I just didn't want to like be involved in like the organizing, the planning, the the
Yeah.
clubs and whatnot. I just wanted to go to school, hang out with my friends, pass my exams, and that was it.
So interesting because it's like this is literally just showing that like people change, like we're changing in these
Yeah.
different parts of our lives.
Yeah.
And I almost find myself sometimes needing to like explain myself or like because
Oh,
I feel like how people see me is like different than how I feel I know I am
Wait,
or
do you
what I
mean
think I
explain
am.
Yourself? Hey, by the way, this is not how I usually am.
Like if I'm not planning stuff or if I'm like not a planner or something, I'll be like, oh yeah, I
Mhm.
usually plan stuff. then why don't I just
No
fucking go
one,
plan it?
Sarah,
No one,
usually
no,
plan
literally.
stuff.
Like, you know what I mean? Like,
No,
I
I
should
get
just
that, I
do
get
it
that, I
then.
get that, I
If
get
I,
that.
yeah. But then, like, why am I not doing it?
Or even like one thing I will say, like as someone who's known you for like a long time, not 2 decades, but like
Mhm.
we're coming on up like 8
Almost a
years,
decade.
7. Oh my god, that's crazy. To see you not in that role is also weird for me. Like, for example, like planning aside, like I think you're pretty crackhead. But then
Mhm.
when we're in a setting where you're not crackhead, and I'm chill with them, like my Columbia friends, I'm like, oh,
Mhm.
by the way, she's like pretty crackhead. but you're just like,
I'm just
yeah, like life is good, like so chill. I'm just a chill
Oh my
girl.
gosh, you know
But then
what?
I'm like, she's so crackhead.
No, I need more crackhead energy. My rebranding last year was Silly Goofy.
Oh,
And I just like wanted to draw on that more. And I think I've lost touch with that a bit. And
see, identity.
yeah, see. But that's why I think it is, you can change it.
Yeah.
You just focus on things more. Or like,
Yeah.
it's just a mindset. It's just like your mindset. If you
Mm.
believe that you are whatever, then
I still think who you are like with friends with will either cater to that or go against that though.
Like who you're friends with.
Yeah, like at the end of the day,
Yeah.
like you back to the point is like you can't have too many of the same people. Like you can't have 10 crackheads. Friend groups like that don't work. Those are just like drinking friends then.
Yeah.
But like, because just in the basis of forming deep relationships, like actually having friends, not just like going out friends and whatnot, I think you do have to be more malleable, and that's hard. Not everyone can do that, right?
What is your definition of friendship? Like, do you need deep conversations to be considered close friends?
Okay, so this is an interesting question for me because I don't think I have any best friends. I've talked to you about this like off camera, but for the audience, I don't believe I have any best friends. I have like a bunch of close friends, and then I have like friends, and those are like kind of my two categories. I know like other people have like maybe more subcategories or yada yada yada, but for me, close friend is someone who has part of his tenure, like having known you guys for so long,
Friend-ier.
but also part of that is we've like gone through like shit together, like Purdue, grad school. Oh, trauma bonding.
Trauma bonding.
Trauma bonding makes close friends. Yeah, but then like my other friends, my outside friends, are like people I know and I have like good vibes with. So yeah, I think you don't necessarily need good deep conversations, but maybe like some sort of deeper event that bonds you guys together. But I agree, like I typically would stray towards like people who I have like spent more emotionally on, you know, than like just a random guy I met like at church or something.
Just a chill dude.
Yeah. I truly think like for guys specifically, you need to have, because like we're not so in tune with our emotions, but what makes a good guy friendship is being able to meet someone there too. That's one thing I really appreciate about like our church community, where we would force people to have like these one-on-one like hangouts. And a lot of times like, okay, as a guy, like what are you going to talk about? Oh, sports, games. But then at some point it runs out and you're just like, I guess I'll talk about my feelings. And then like
Your feelings about sports and games.
testosterone. But then at some point, like, yeah, you need to hit those feelings and emotions and whatnot. And I think that's what made a lot of my close guy friends like close guy friends. But I think it's something you need to nurture and continually to pour into each other, because it can fall out. Like I have close guy friends I consider at Purdue, and now we're not anymore. Part of it's distance, part of it's time.
Yeah.
So yeah,
Which that's normal too.
it's normal.
Yeah.
What about you? How do you define friends?
I think for me to feel most connected to people is through like deep conversations. I just want to know like why people are the way they are. I think that's so interesting. It's just like better understanding of them and like where they're coming from and like what they want out of life, and like being able to share those moments together.
No, I mean to some degree, like that's something we all know, like in our hearts. It's just like weird to say it out.
Yeah.
Something that I've been doing more. Okay, only like when I'm drunk. Well, one of my CG members inspired me to start doing this. She just asks, "What is your lore?"
I love that.
And I did that yesterday when I was like inebriated, and it was a good conversation. We're coming up on time.
How should we summarize this? What are our key takeaways from this?
Stop focusing on your job. Your job is a function for you to live life. But if you're not using that function to grow yourself and add value to yourself, what's investing in friends, experiences, and whatnot, you're wasting your time.
Dude, it's also, sorry, this is like another kind of tangent.
No.
Like the fact that we spend so much time at work, and then it's like, I don't know, you just like, you have to find something in every single day to look forward to for yourself or like with people or like whatever.
Yeah.
Because if you don't and you just wait for the weekends to live,
Yeah.
then like that's like majority of your life just like not being enjoyed.
Yeah. Like try to do things for yourself. Like revisit old hobbies, try new hobbies, new friends, old friends. I think like one day, especially for the New Yorkers, you don't want to look back and be like, I could have done more in New York. Because at some point this is going to all end, right?
Yeah.
Like this life, this phase.
Yeah.
It's hard.
It is
It's
tough.
supposed to be hard. You see, like it's crazy. Like we've talked for like an hour and there's still like really no answer on like our identities and whatnot.
Yeah.
Like the whole thing is it's supposed to be fluid. It's supposed to be confusing, but just like we should all be a little more aware of who we are as people. You know.
I think something that I still think about to this day is that conversation that we had months ago where you were like, know what value you bring to your friendships.
Yeah.
And I've never thought about it
God,
before.
I used to be so deep.
It's only been a couple months. I guess you started working.
Every other
Soul sucked
I
already.
lost all my creativity when I started working.
Yeah. So now I just think about, not like that much, but just like generally, like how can I bring value to my friendships? Or
Yeah,
like,
I love that.
same with like the selflessness, like
Good
how
job,
can I
Ethan.
support how can I support my friends better or like be there for my friends.
Know what value you bring to friendships, because that will anchor you. Because friends are always going to change, but you're, for the most part, not going to.
Yeah.
And dynamics are going to change, but who you are as a person, for the most part, at the core, it's not going to change. And that is what you bring to friend groups, which is nice.
Yeah. And I feel like the thing, good God.
Sorry, dude.
Excuse
This morning
you.
voice, I can taste beer in the back of my throat.
No, it's so gross, dude.
Sorry.
I think I do want to also say a distinguishing point about knowing your value too
Yeah.
is that make sure that that value comes from you and not based on other people's reaction to what you do.
Ooh.
Because then if that ever changes, like if you don't get the same reaction that you're used to and that's where you place your identity, then that's not good either. So it has to be purely just like my value of what I bring to my friendships is what I do. It has to stem from what you're in control of.
Dude, that was eloquent as fuck, my guy.
Oh fuck.
Dude,
Let's go.
that's a
Still
clip.
got it.
That's a clip right there. Yeah, hopefully we don't do any more Saturday morning podcasts.
There's also like construction going on outside.
I don't think they can hear it.
Hopefully not.
I hope you guys had a good Thanksgiving. Hope you guys are preparing for the upcoming holidays if you're traveling. Be safe, guys.
Yeah, enjoy the holiday season.
I will be around because I'm still on probation from where I work.
Damn, that sucks, dude.
And you might be leaving.
I might be here. My parents want me to come home, but I'm still deciding.
Yeah.
But yeah, all else to say.
This kind of feels like it's like season 2.
Right now, this?
Yeah, I don't know why.
Oh, 'cause after Thanksgiving, like a
yeah,
break?
We're like,
I feel like
We're
season
back.
2 will feel like after the new year.
after New Year's,
Mhm.
yeah.
Or maybe after 25 episodes, which will be into the new year.
Maybe we should set our goal to just like the end of this year.
New
and then
year,
like
yeah.
call that as like phase 1.
Yeah. All this to say, 20s are really confusing. And I mean, there's obviously no expectation for us to have this figured out, but it's always something that we're thinking about, I think. And like, that's part of the journey, which is so exciting. And I'm glad we get to share it with you and like for our future selves to look back at and be like, wow, we were so wrong. Or like, can't believe, I don't know. Or we're going to look at this in 10 years and be like, I still don't know what I'm doing.
Our kids can low-key find this if you think about it.
Yeah.
But I think it'd be fun to like see their parents
Mm-hmm.
be kids.
Oh
you
my
know?
gosh. But let us know, as always, if you have any thoughts or what do you feel like your identity is right now or your purpose or just like stuff that you're trying to work on. Anyways, thank you guys, as always, for watching and hanging out with us. With that, TTYL.
TTYL.